Hello, everybody. It was a glorious week in Michigan athletics, top to bottom, professional sports, college sports, and we're going to start with a high school game. My dad's high school alma mater. He went down to Ford Field Friday, and the Beale City Aggies won another state championship in Division 8. So I just wanted to shout out for my dad there, and let's get into it. We're going to start with college basketball, as always. Michigan is now 6-1 after they won the Fort Myers tournament. With this win, with wins over Virginia Tech and Xavier. In game one, I did a video on this particular game, so you can go click on that and watch it later on. But Michigan won that game 75-63. And then in game two, Michigan beat ranked Xavier 78-53, a 25-point victory. It was a much better start in this game for the Wolverines. Michigan's defense was suffocating and its offense was flowing. Michigan led 41-30 at half, and Danny Wolf had the 7-foot phenom had 16 points and was 4-4 from three. Michigan had 8 assists, 6 steals, and only 4 turnovers in the first half. Wolf finished with 20 points, 8 of 12 shooting, 14 rebounds, and 2 steals. The other 7-footer, Vlad Golden, had 18 points on 7 of 9 shootings, 10 rebounds, and 2 blocks. Everyone else chipped in a bit, but played great defense on this team. Up next for the Michigan Wolverine basketball team, they are at Wisconsin on Tuesday, and they have Iowa at home on Saturday. Okay, the Spartans, Michigan State, are 6-2 now. They won the third place game in the Maui Invitational. Game 1, Michigan State beat Colorado 72-56. In Game 2, Michigan State lost to Memphis 71-63. I can't put my finger on why they lost other than Michigan State had 4 more turnovers, which led to 4 more shots for Memphis. In Game 3, Michigan State bounced back and beat North Carolina 94-91 in a nail-biter there. Michigan State shot 54% and made 24 of 31 free throws. Up next for them is at Minnesota on Wednesday, Nebraska on Saturday. Let's head to the ice. College hockey, number 6 Michigan is 10-3-1 now. Number 6 Michigan split with number 7 Western Michigan this past week. In game 1 at Western Michigan, it was a loss 4-1. Could Michigan avoid a sweep? Yes. In game 2, a home game versus Western Michigan was a win 2-1. Will Felecchio and Michael Haig scored for the Wolverines. Up next, a 2-game series at number 3 Minnesota. And the first game is on Friday, and it is on FS1. Finally, a televised game. Now, number 1 Michigan State on the ice is 11-1. Michigan State had Lindenwood at home and swept them easily. Michigan State has now won 10 straight games. In Game 1, Michigan State had no problems in a 4-0 win last Friday. And in Game 2, Michigan State had another shutout in a 2-0 victory. Up next for them is at Wisconsin on Friday and Saturday. The game on Saturday is on the Big Ten Network. In college football, Michigan State is 5-7 now. They lost to Rutgers at home 41-14. Michigan State needed this to win to guarantee a bowl game. They could miss a bowl for the 3rd consecutive year in a row. It is up to the rest of the field and the academic progress rates whether a 5-7 team could get in. And then on the other side of the coin, Michigan is 7-5 now and upset number 2 Ohio State 13-10 on Saturday. Michigan shut out Ohio State in the second half. Michigan was without Loveland. They were without Johnson. They were without Edwards for much of this game. They were 20-point underdogs. Quarterback Davis Warren was 9-16 for 62 yards and 2 interceptions. There were no sacks, and yet Michigan won this game. 2 missed field goals for Ohio State, but the fact Wink Martindale's defense held Ohio State 2 field goals in this game was the difference. Kalel Mullings came through with 116 yards and 1 touchdown. Let's move to the pros. In the NBA, the Pistons are now 9-13, 10th place in the East. This past week, the Pistons beat the Raptors 102-100, lost to the Grizzlies 131-111. They beat the Pacers 130-106, and then they lost to the 76ers 111-96. In NHL news, the Detroit Red Wings are 10-11-3 now overall. 23 points is good enough for 6th in the Atlantic Division. They are 8 points behind Florida. They beat the Islanders 4-2. They beat the Flames 2-1. Then they lost to the Devils 5-4, and they lost to the Canucks 5-4 in overtime. And then your Detroit Lions are 11-1 now after they beat Chicago on Thanksgiving Day. Chicago's head coach Eberflus was fired after this game for poor clock management at the end of the game. It was 16-0 at halftime for Detroit, but Chicago scored 20 second-half points to make it a game. And Chicago had a chance to win in the end, but blew it. Detroit's new acquisition had a 7-yard sack, knocking Chicago out of field goal range, and Detroit won this game 23-20. Goff was 21 of 34 for 221 yards and 2 passing touchdowns. Montgomery had 88 yards. Gibbs had 87 yards on the ground. Amon-Ra St. Brown had 5 catches for 73 yards, and Sam Laporta had the 2 receiving touchdowns. Up next for your Lions is Green Bay at home on Thursday night football. So there you go, this past week in Michigan athletics. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Like the video, please share with others, social media, word of mouth, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you everybody, and have a great day.